Good Sunday morning, and welcome to Rainy Day Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles and all the silly things in the world. And wow, raining. Hey, good Sunday morning. Just a short little conversation. Just always like to keep the channel going. And thanks as always for all those who participate and watch my channel. And it's downpouring rain for the most part right now. I'm getting soaked. But you know what? The show must go on. Rain, snow, maybe. Let's just keep it going. And what a bummer. I was so wanting today to drive the two Mustangs to the car meet and do the overview of the differences of the two Mustangs that I own, the Vapor Blues. And is that happening? That ain't happening. What do you think people doing this Sunday morning besides waking up in this area and saying, what a bummer. Look at my pond. Steam's coming off the pond because it's been so cold up here that it's steaming off that cold pond because it's warm. Rain and thunderstorms are here, but by the end of the day it's going to be cold. The winds are coming in. Typical thing in this area where you go from the really warm weather to the really cold weather. And here we are in the never-ending adventures of my antics, my addictions. And no, there's no Ford Raptor 37 sitting in here. And no, there's no Ram TRX sitting here. And if you watch my channel, you're fully abreast that the Iceman, as usual, is always looking to buy something else. It's always the addictions, always the mission. What have I accomplished? What do I don't? And I'm having a heck of a time meeting that challenge of getting that Ram TRX and the Raptor 37. Irony is, the dealership that has the Raptor 37 used I want, they have a Ram TRX as well. And now my friend Alex is trying to see if he can maybe put some numbers on that. So it hasn't ended yet. So even though some may think that the adventure of the Raptor 37 and the TRX is over, it's still ongoing, believe it or not. But it's just for me, it's going to have to give something up. And that's where the challenge comes in, is it's really going to come down to that blue supercharged Hellcat over there, or the Tremor truck, which I just don't really want to give up either one of them. So I just don't know if that really plays out. But really today, it's always about the week in review. And that's what I kind of review, just for me to even think off the tip of my tongue. We had like the insurance conversations Monday, the blasphemy conversations Tuesday, the profit conversations Wednesday, optimism conversations on Thursday, and then on Friday. So here's what I just totally lost. So the supercharger conversations on Friday. And everything revolved really around Elon Musk through the whole week. And I've been so active and busy, I haven't been on X, really been following much of anything. But the whole conversation all week really was all about the Cybertruck, the electric vehicles, the infrastructure, the new 800-volt battery pack in that Cybertruck, the new 48-volt architecture. And it was just a lot of content throughout the week. If anybody's really wanting to watch my channel and just get information, you can watch my channel, and hopefully I can help share the information. Just share what I read, what other people learn as well. And you can share your information and help me as well too. So, but it's always about the Ice Age. And it is interesting that the COP28 in Dubai is not playing out the way the green agenda people want. But let's not focus on that today. What I was really, even myself, disappointed in is I really haven't ever really gone through this car here. I really have not made a specific video really focused on just this car. And it's just too bad because I've had the GT350. Well, I should just say I've had the GT Mustang PP1 Performance Pack option, which isn't the PP2. PP2 is when you get the more radical tires on the vehicle, more or less. And then I've had the GT350, and of course I've had the GT500s. And then I've even had a Mach 1 that I didn't drive much at all. I've even had the Ford Mustang Bullet. So I've had a lot of different Mustangs in the last 5 years to really be able to honestly share with others what I kind of feel the differences and what they do and don't. And it's just incredible on how I've bought this Dark Horse Mustang And I just really haven't really spent a lot of time on really going into depth or showing me video of it, really driving it and seeing what I think about the car, besides just driving it home from the dealership and driving it home after we did the H-pipe exhaust install. And what intrigued me to do this was a guy on the Ford 7G Mustang forum he's mulling over which Mustang dark horse he buys. And so I started to look for a video that I could share with him on really telling him, don't buy just the regular dark horse. You want to buy the dark horse handling package, which gives you a much more aggressive look, better wing, Tremec manual transmission. That's an option on either the non-dark horse handling package or dark horse handling package. But I couldn't find any video that I could share with him because he owned a GT350. And so I just tried to share with him, like, wow, man, I would not buy the non-dark horse handling package. It's, I think, like a $5,000 upgrade, I think. I'm just going off the tip of my tongue. And then a gentleman yesterday, reached out and called my channel clickbait from the exhaust thing. And I didn't attack him. I just said, why? How so? Please explain why you feel like you just saw a clickbait video. And he opened my eyes up, and he did a good job. I actually reached out to him this morning and thanked him for saying my channel is clickbait because I remade a new video that focused just on this car being the before and the after exhaust sound. And I get into these very long videos because of my antics and who I am, and I talk. And so you try to get, as an individual, I just want to hear the before and after exhaust sound on a vehicle. And then we go to my channel, some of you are like, yeah, I got to wait 20 minutes to hear the difference of the exhaust. But then in the one video I posted, it never showed the end result of the next stage of the actual before and after. It just showed the before. You have to go to a whole other video to see the after effect way late in the video, or you got to watch my shorties to really see the before and after. So this morning I made a specific video to cater to him, to show him the before and after video, like a 2-minute, 3-minute video to hopefully help him. And I was like, hey, you kind of pointed something out. I didn't really have a clear video of this car before and after. So thank you, sir, if you're watching my channel. And it's, once again, I didn't take it to be an argument. I took it to be, please show me where I'm clickbait. And he actually was very agreeable what I said. So anyways, it's always the talk, always the conversation. One thing that's very exciting about this Ford Mustang dark horse for me, and as you know, my other Ford Mustang that's sitting outside here, beyond the Ford Tremor truck, and just for the participants of my channel, I'll walk through the nice sloggy rain. I kind of wish I would have pulled that car in here last night, but I thought the rains weren't supposed to come in until this afternoon, and I thought I would have a chance to go do the car show today this morning, but how wrong am I? I'm seriously wrong. So you look at this car here, this is the regular GT Mustang. And when I ordered my dark horse Mustang, it looked just about like this here. So this is my GT Mustang, but I lowered it with Steeda springs, put a whole different exhaust on it, put a shorty shifter, put stabilizer, reinforcement bars front and back. And once again, it'd be so cool if it was a nice day today to be able to really go through that in more depth. And I had it here in the garage, and I had the kid in the garage, and we could do the different sounds of the exhaust, because that car there with that exhaust and Roush mufflers is night and day to the exhausts on this car over here. But this is more my style. For my kid, she's going to love that noise. And that's a good point. As I was walking out there, you see the white Mustang? The white Mustang over there is really a car that I would so prefer to trade for the Raptor 37. Or even maybe a Ram TRX. But it gets too complicated, too in-depth for the average person to comprehend all that information. That deal won't work that way. So I'm forced to go a different direction, to a different vehicle. I wish I could maybe get rid of one of the electric vehicles. They're too upside down. It'd be serious money. So, and at the end of the day, sometimes you have to just look at yourself in the mirror and say, in the foggy mirror, like this right here, you have to say to yourself, it just isn't going to work, and it's just another day, and that's fine. Here's my stickers. Eventually I get those things on my Bronco. That's a whole other day, a whole other project. But once again, here it is. Here's the Mustang Dark Horse. And just to keep my channel going on the daily conversations, and I'm usually going to a car show. And what do? These rainy days, besides sit in your house, start cleaning your house, I guess turn on the television to, watch the all the to watch the football games or whatever else. My daughter's so funny. She loves to sit in this car. She just loves to get into my cars and feel she hasn't driven this car. I was telling her last night, this really is a different driving car from the Mustang GT. And so let's just open this up, because the reason I want to open up this hood, and it's never easy for me because I'm using one hand. Oh, there we go. Last night I woke up early this morning, and Jake at Lethal Performance has done a whole overview of the new Whipple 3 liter Whipple 6th generation that I bought, supercharger for this car. It's a great video, and I'm so glad I watched it. That supercharger is 3 liters. I mean, it's the same size of my Ford Bronco Raptor motor. I mean, that in so many ways, that engine there is in so many ways the size of the Whipple that's going to be sitting on top of this engine here at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure that you can keep the engine brace, intact because of the way it's designed. But when I watch that video, he does a really good job of how Whipple apparently is one of the first that has all the tuning, all the programming, all the in-depth knowledge of this new car and how to make it run just right. And so the first thing he points out is, on the Whipple, there's just one connection for these 2 air intakes. So the new system goes a 2 into a 1, because Whipple sees that this gets too much stuff going on if you want to change things out, and they just feel it has a better breathing capacity of just 2 flowing into 1. It's massive on how big that Whipple supercharger is. And I got the Grabber Blue one, and it's just such a cool looking supercharger. And once again, Jared there at Lethal Performance, which I bought mine on the discount during the after holiday discount, the cyber sale, whatever you want to say. So I got some money off of it, and I just took that and applied it to getting the blue supercharger versus just the black one to give it some character. Now he has the Grabber Blue Mustang, so that'll go really, really well with the paint going and flowing with one another. But here's the thing: the other night I drove this car home, and I just haven't driven this car because I drove it from the dealership and I drove it home. I didn't even test drive the car because the car was in the showroom. So it was a total blind faith in me buying this car, because once again, it was sitting in the showroom, couldn't test drive it, and I just had the gut instinct that this would be a really nice car because I already have a Mustang GT. Would I've done that without owning my Mustang GT? We could have probably had conditions. I can drive it. If I don't like it, then whatever. I'm sure they would have done that for me at Coons Baltimore Ford, which is now AKA Asbury Automotive Group. So anyways, once again, Friday night, I drove this car home, and I am just taking back on how nice this car is. I just can't get over on how this car so resonates my GT500. And that's something I was talking about yesterday that I didn't go into much length or depth. Is, for me, the challenge always is, if I give something up for something else, will I regret it? And then if you watch my channel, you'll see I buy things back. I let something go, only in the future just to buy really the same thing back, just in a different color, different package. But at the end of the day, I just get it back. And so that's where the challenge comes in. And for last year, this past spring, letting go of my 2 very expensive GT500s, I had the feeling I should let those go and instead keep the Hellcats, thinking these would keep values and they'd be even worth more money, which right now that's not what's going on. Those are actually losing value, and they're not holding their value that well at this time. It's really not that great. The GT500s, I guarantee, are still holding good value because there's no more GT500s around, and the price of these cars now being, if you build out this car and you spec it out, it's at $79,900. It's close to $80,000 for what's a Mach 1 in disguise. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Even the price I paid for this car, in so many ways, it's ridiculous. But the former Mach 1 was like a $61,000 or $62,000 car. So this is like a $68,000 car. Goes to $70,000. So that has created, really, for the GT500 to hold its value, because you're going to spend $80,000 now on a non-supercharged real race car that's a GT500. This over here, this isn't going on. This is more about they're still making them. And now we're another year away before people start trying to figure out what's going on. But a year from now, if Dodge releases the next Dodge Charger that comes to be a actual ICE motor, hybrid setup, and it's got a 1,000 horsepower package, that kind of starts to change who wants that car. That's more of the retro guy now wanting, but then they want the deal. They want to buy that car because it's not as powerful as a new car, and their position then will be more like, well, I'll just go buy a brand new one for $100,000. I ain't giving you $100,000 a year because yours is old technology now. That's how it all plays out. So that point of that conversation is, I parted my GT500s last spring so questioning if that was the right decision. But now that I've bought back the 2024, or I should say I've purchased the 2024 Mustang with the Dark Horse handling package and the Tremec manual, which my GT500s you couldn't get the manual, this is an incredibly fun car. This thing is just really, I really am happy now that I traded out my GT500 for this car. And this car here is, well, it's going to get expensive because of the Whipple Charger. But it doesn't have the thing where you feel like if you drive it, it's not going to have the value one day. And that's kind of those things you buy, these high-end cars, very expensive cars, and then you feel like you got to just park it all the time because you don't want to ruin its value because you put too many miles on it. This here, not so much. They can have a lot of fun in this car. And once again, I'm just really taken back on how this car is more fun and has more of an attitude than I realized. And once you get inside the car, it's the same old story where the new technology, for some people, they just don't like it. They just don't like that. They're turned off by that iPad. That, in my eyes, it's really the person that wants the video gaming. You know, it's the young guy that's now the engineer of Ford that has helped develop in so many ways, the video gaming vehicle. Because when you get in here, you'll see on how you can get this feature in this car. I should probably turn on the feature where the seat goes all the way back because I'm so cramped getting in and out of this car. But as I get in the car here, after I just tinted the windows, let's start her up. And let's see how this new exhaust sounds. Let's make sure that she's in neutral. So that's not too shabby, right? And that was a cold start, so now it's kind of tamed itself down. But we can take this here and we can go to the settings here and we can go for a little more aggressive exhaust note if this thing loads. See, that's the thing here. Oh, look at that. Got the windshield wipers going. Got everything. I guess you have to close the door because right now I'm trying to go to mode. And so let's go here. There's a normal. There's sport. There's custom. Slippery. Drag strip. And then track. So there's track. So now automatically it goes to your traction control goes off. So you gotta go back down here and you gotta turn it back on. Okay, so there we go. So what's even interesting though is, well, I gotta hit a button here. So even for me learning this stuff, I hit okay. I don't know. Because right here, look, it's showing right here that it's off. Why can't I get it to come back on? Let's just say here, hold for advanced track off. Ooh, that's crazy. I don't even know. See, this is where you have to literally get into a lot of stuff to really figure this stuff out. I don't know, even for me. So, but this is in track mode. So obviously in track mode, you want to do your burnout and go down the strip. But to change the exhaust out a little bit, so let's go back to the sport. So now so there you go. So it automatically then goes back to traction control. And your whole theme of your dash all changes out, which is really cool. I mean, in some aspects, you can change the colors if you want for the background. And then we go back to normal. And that's a little more tamer. So now we're gonna have a little softer suspension. You're gonna have a little bit more of a softer steering wheel feel. So and the exhaust note is gonna be a little milder. So we go to sport, and now with this Magna riding suspension, this is tweaked. This is the shock system. This has now changed the electronic steering to be a little bit more aggressive, and it's taken the exhaust to a little higher note by the exhaust valve back there. So once again, the technology, some people, they don't like it. They just don't like this stuff. But at the same time, it gives you so many features. You even have the track apps. So if we go here now, this is where it kind of gets a little more confusing. We go to the Pony, and then we go to track apps, and you can then do your activation timer. Okay, so automatic. So this then, I guess, takes you to where you want to go 0 to 60. And then when you hit that button and you take off, it'll then, give you your results of what you did in 0 to 60 time. You got drag race lights. What's that all about? So that's pretty cool. So, so there's just really neat features here. Brake performance. You can set that up for different levels of what you're doing if you're racing the car. Tracking it. Launch settings. Oh, wow. So this tells you once it hits the set amount of RPMs, the car then, with you dumping the clutch, basically. Shift indicator, your light modes. So you can just see that this really has the rev match, has launch control, has the drift brake. I don't even know how to do that. Has this new electric e-brake is what they call it. So there's just a lot going on here. This is a car that you really would have to spend a lot of time in to really start to marry yourself to it. And because if you just get in it once a week to drive it, I can guarantee there's a lot of people that buy all these cars. I've talked about it so many times over my videos. Some people get all these cars and they don't even really know what the car really can do. All the features, accessories. So now you can kind of hear that exhaust. I really like that exhaust. The exhaust isn't overbearing, and it doesn't get that drone feeling inside the car. So happy with that. I'm not going to do anything more to the car on that. Which right now, the car, for me, this is pretty much it. And besides the Whipple supercharger, is about the only thing that I can really see me putting any more money to this car and change anything. I tinted out the front, did the strip across the windshield, and did the side windows. But the car, when you drive down the road in this car, this car is so attached and so aggressive, and it gives you such the more of a sports car, a true track sports car over, say, that car. That car there is extremely fun because of the big tires. It has the track tires on it, so it does give you a lot of fun. But it's a bigger car. It's a bigger interior. So when you're sitting in this car, your arm reach, like I can go over here and for the most part just touch this door over here. When I get in that car over there, that's not as easy. It's just a whole different, and it doesn't have that feeling in the car that you're like in a real sports car. And keep in mind, I'm looking at the Dodge Charger, but it's the same thing in the Challenger. It's just a bigger vehicle, and it doesn't give you that same type of feel where you want to take the car to the track and go around the curves. And I'm not saying that you can't do that with that car. You can, but this just has so much more of the real two-door, performance-oriented type of feel of the car. It's just so much tighter. It's smaller. And it tells you in so many ways, take me to the track. And it's more so in these higher end performance model cars. And I think the GT Mustang's a great car. I think you can make it so much in so many ways just like this car, and in some ways I have. But doing that suspension, the Steeda, and the new exhaust, but it's still not this personality car. It's just a whole different personality. So I can talk all day, as you know. As always, I just like to do the conversations in the morning, and I like to share my love and passion for the vehicles I have. And we can get into this car here, just to kind of share with you just to kind of what I'm talking about. In this car here, it is so much easier for me to get into this car. That car's so cool in terms of lights. This is just a whole different car. I mean, it's just, we know. So now look here. See here, I really have, I mean, I am stretching, I can barely touch that door. So it just doesn't radiate. Look at that car. Is that car just talking to me or what? What is that all about? I mean, that's like the space thing. What is going on? That is so funny. I mean, that is weird. I left the key in the car. Is that what that's all about? I don't even know. It's like it's come alive. Is that Christine? So in this car here, it's just a whole, you feel like you're in a four-door sedan. Well, wow, that's what I'm in. Look at this. This is crazy. My car is telling me something. Why is that? I've never seen this before on a car. Is this telling me that I'm supposed to get the key out? I mean, sincerely, it's not happening. Have you ever seen this? So let me go over here. But the key's in my pocket. So that's so strange. Did I, by chance, turn on the, no, it's on auto's on. Everything's off. Is this thing come to life or what? Wow. Freaky, right? So, but this is a badass, fun car. If you got kids, the wife, I'm going to tell you straight up, the kids and the wife are going to be like, we love this car, Daddy. I mean, by all means, your wife, your girlfriend, yeah, we love this car too. But when the kids have to get in the back seat, as we all know, it's like, yeah, people can sit back there. I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, wow, it's a different animal. All right, it's really raining really hard. I know the kids hungry. We're gonna go get breakfast. We gotta go to Costco. We gotta get the dog food. I think we're gonna take the race truck up to get some breakfast. And wow, is it raining? It is raining. It's just one of these rainy Sunday days, and it's just so many of these motorheads like me, the car enthusiasts. Car shows ain't happening today. You ride around in your car or motorcycle, and it's just that time of year. This is so crazy. What is this thing doing? I'm going to lock it, and let's just see what that does. Is this thing telling me to, lock me up, Daddy? Don't let me get stolen? I think the new lines, even though at first I thought the Mustang had the Camaro retro. I've always wanted a Camaro. I really do like the lines of the car. I mean, I really do feel like now, I made the right decision. These cars here, it's challenging on the right decision, wrong decision, because this car here isn't right now a hot item. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's all over the place. I guess if I ever advertised this on my own and said I want over $100,000 for it, would somebody give it to me? I don't know. Same thing here. If I said, hey, I'm going to sell this car, but I'm not parting with it, it's over $100,000 value. I really felt this was going to be a $125, $150 car. And here's my kid calling me right here. Here's my daughter. And let's go ahead and get her on the phone, see what happens. Hey, kid, we're going to be leaving here in a second, okay?
Alright,
I'll bring the car over.
For you, or do you want me to come over there?
Well, I'm going to pull the truck out here in a second, and we're going to head out. So just give me a minute. I'm finishing up my video, okay?
But are you going to come over to the house?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to walk over there?
You can walk over. Okay. So there's the kid wanting to go for the breakfast and all our good stuff. So anyways, yeah, I really, in so many ways, feel like, yeah, was this the right decision? Should I just sat it out and not bought one again? I don't know. You can gets deep and heavy. This car senses this key. So what's going on here is this car knows I'm in its proximity, so it's talking to me, which that's pretty cool, because if you come up to the car at nighttime, it's letting you know that, hey, I know you're here, master. Can you please come and see me? That's what this car is saying. That has to be what it's saying. So anyways, I'm just going to wrap it up with that. The kid's hungry. I got to get the race truck started up, and we got to get up the road and get through the slosh through the rain and kind of call it a day. Now, does the adventure continue on the, my buddy Alex called me today and say, I got a really sweet deal for you. Bring your car up here, and I'll get you that 37. I don't know. Debatable. It was incredible. That place was packed with people to buy cars. I just don't get it. There's so many. I mean, I know the car market's changed. It has. But people are still buying cars. It's so bad. Anyways, everybody, appreciate, as always, I appreciate, as always, everybody weighing in their comments and their support my channel. And you really ought to go to the Max Custom exhaust video. I made a shorty video of the antics of the guys in the Honda Civic that brought that car in to get the exhaust changed out, and ways had fun at their expense. And trust me, I'm no fool to those kids thinking that guy's just a big old asshole. I get that, but we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with the the other guy working there at Max Custom Exhaust. I mean, that to me was just hysterical. But I just out of the thin air, I just grabbed these different ideas as we watched that Honda Civic. Like the young kid wanted to get a more noise out of that car. You really should watch that video. It's not to be demeaning of anybody. In hindsight, I think to myself, I should have bought that guy's work. I should have gone there and said, "Hey, Mac, let me throw some money to those kids out there where we're all having fun at their expense." And it's to them, "Hey, that guy, paid the bill," or whatever. I mean, I just didn't even think of that. I was just too involved. Or I should have walked by and gave the guy some cash and said, "Here, put this through your bill because I've got a great video that I think is very funny at your expense. So don't take it the wrong way. It's all about having fun with the cars." And wet? You're going to get soaking wet. No jacket? We bought you numerous jackets.
Not a rain jacket.
Oh, wow. Now, if you believe that story, okay. So we're going to jump in the race truck. Everybody have a great day and keep abreast. You never know. You can see the daughter and I driving over by Raptor 37, Ram TRX. I don't know. Stay tuned.